Today, this is a simple barista training video about coffee grinding and coffee grind size. Why is it so important and why does it matter? Have you noticed that each and every time that you have a bad extraction of your coffee, everyone will tell you to check if you're using the right grind size. The common cause of this fast extraction of your coffee or a slow extraction of your coffee, often leading to that sour, bitter, watery or unbalanced flavor in your cup of coffee, might be because you're using the wrong grind size. And this is a very common challenge that each and every person faces in the coffee community. Being a beginner barista, home baristas, and even pro baristas, the only way you can fix that bad extraction of your coffee is if you have a clear understanding on what is coffee grinding and what is the ideal coffee grind size. And this is what has compelled me to make this video. I aim for this video to take you from a beginner barista without any experience to becoming a pro. I've gathered all the knowledge that I've acquired for the 7 years working as a barista, and I've compacted it in this video, making sure by the end of this video you'll have a clear understanding on what exactly is coffee grinding and how you can adjust the different grind size so that you can make a good cup of coffee. I have designed this video into 5 simple steps that you can follow, from the basic knowledge about coffee grinding to the more advanced knowledge about coffee grinding. I'm going to be walking you through each and everything step by step in the simplest way possible so that you can fully understand what exactly is coffee grinding and coffee grind size. The first step is going to be what is coffee grinding and why does it matter. The second step is going to be choosing the right coffee grinder for grinding your coffee. And the third step, I'm going to be explaining to you the coffee grinding chart, which coffee grind size is recommendable for the different brew method. The fourth part, how you can adjust the different grind size. And the fifth step, how you can fix your bad cup of coffee using coffee grind size. Let's start with a brief introduction, which is the step 1 of our video. Knowing what exactly is coffee grinding. When you get your bag of coffee and you open it up, you will find whole coffee beans just like this. So you can't make your coffee using these whole coffee beans. You need to crush them into smaller particles so that you can pour water on them and extract the solubles, which results into the flavor and aroma that you get in your final cup of coffee. Crushing down these coffee beans into smaller particles is what is termed as coffee grinding. After knowing what exactly is coffee grinding, let's move to step 2. This is going to be the coffee tool that you're going to need to grind the coffee into smaller particles. And this is going to be the coffee grinder. The coffee grinder is what breaks down the coffee bean into smaller particles. There are so many brands of coffee grinders on the market and I can't mention them all in this video. If you already have a grinder, comment the name of your coffee grinder in the comment section below so that if there is anyone having a challenge with that same grinder, or you're the one having a challenge with your coffee grinder, I'll be able to help you, or someone with that same grinder will be able to assist you. The main goal of my channel is to share coffee knowledge and help each other make the best cup of coffee or become a barista. For the coffee grinder, we have the electric one and the manual one, also known as the hand grinders. Under the electric, we have 2 major types, which are the blade coffee grinders and the burr coffee grinders. Blade coffee grinders are grinders with the blade inside, similar to that of a blender. So this blade spins around and cuts coffee into smaller particles. This coffee grinder is cheap and easy to use, but it has a huge downside to it because the particles that you get while you grind your coffee using a blade coffee grinder are not consistent. Some of the particles are very small and some of them are very big. When it comes to extracting your coffee using coffee grinds that have been grinded with the blade coffee grinder, you're going to have a bad extraction of your coffee. Often that coffee is going to be under extracted because the water is going to find the weakest part of that coffee and it's where it's going to pass and not be able to fully extract the right flavors in your cup of coffee. And this is why I strongly recommend that you use bar coffee grinders, because the main goal of grinding coffee is to have the consistent particles, and you can only achieve the consistent particles while you're using the bar coffee grinders. Under the bar coffee grinders, we also have two categories. We have the chronic bars and the flat bars, which rotate together and crush down coffee into consistent particles. Let's start with the chronic bars. The chronic bars has two bars which fit inside each other. So when you add coffee in the chronic bar, it's going to use gravity to grind the coffee through these coffee bars until you have your coffee grinds. And the flat bar, there are two flat bars, so the coffee also falls inside, but it grinds it while coming out on the side. Chronic bars are often cheaper than the flat bars and often designed for home baristas, whereas the flat bars are designed for commercial baristas. After knowing that you are using a coffee grinder to grind your coffee, one thing that you must know about coffee particles is that not all coffee brew methods use the same size of particles. And this is what is going to lead us to part 3 of this video. The guide to the coffee grinding chart, which particles are recommended for the brew methods. These are 5 different grind sizes that I have in this cup. A simple guide about the coffee grinding chart is: Espresso, you need a fine grind size. AeroPress, you need a medium to fine grind size. V60 and the pour-overs, you need a medium grind size. A Chemex, you need a medium to coarse grind size. A French press, you need a coarse grind size. And for a cold brew, you need an extra coarse grind size. This is how a chart is designed. Before I continue, I would like to introduce you to this single dose coffee grinder. It's the Giamori GU38. It's a single dose coffee grinder which can grind coffee from espresso, AeroPress, V60, pour-over, Chemex, and even cold brew. If you're a home barista or a barista working in a small cafe looking for a coffee grinder to elevate your coffee experience, I would request for you to check out this coffee grinder. If you buy such coffee items, is an easy way that you can support this channel. As you have seen all these coffee brew methods, you will always encounter these 3 coffee terms when it comes to adjusting the size of particles. And this is going to be fine, medium, and coarse. So fine, which means the smaller particles of coffee beans. Medium, which means the middle size of the coffee beans. And the coarse, which means the bigger particles of the coffee beans. Every coffee grinder, you will find indications on the coffee grinder dial. One side with the coarse grind size and one side with the fine grind size. You need to choose which is the ideal particles, how each of these particles look, so that you can be able to convert them to have the right grind
Here's
size.
how the texture of each grind size looks like. The fine grind size for espresso has a texture like powdered sugar. The medium fine grind size for AeroPress has a texture like table salt. The medium grind size for pour-over and V60 has a texture like sand. The medium coarse grind size for the Chemex has a texture like rough sand. The coarse grind size for a French press has a texture like sea salt. These are the 5 common textures that I encounter working as a barista. Take your time and observe each of these textures, because I believe as a barista it's very important to know how each of the texture looks. You can pause the video or screenshot these different textures for each brew method, because this is what you're going to need in the part 4 of this video, which is how to adjust your coffee grind size. On a coffee grinder, you're going to find different numbers from 0 to sometimes 6, 0 to 10, 0 to 16, depending on how many settings have been given to that coffee grinder. For this Giamori GU37 comes from 0 to 65, and this Eureka has only from 0 to 6. Whenever you're adjusting your coffee grinder, each time that you reduce the number, you're bringing these coffee bars together, resulting into smaller particles.
And each time you are increasing the number, you're opening these coffee bars, and this is going to result in two big particles. By understanding how the numbers on the coffee dial work, how they can influence the particles that you get using your coffee grinder, you always need to put in small amount of coffee into your coffee grinder, grind it, touch the particles, feel it, how it looks, and you can adjust accordingly. This is going to lead us to part 5 of this video, how you can fix your bad cup of coffee using coffee grind size. To fix the unbalanced flavors in your cup of coffee, you need to identify how that coffee is tasting. Is it tasting sour, weak and watery, or it's tasting bitter, muddy and dry? To fix a sour, watery and a weak cup of coffee, a common cause of a sour, weak and a watery cup of coffee is under extraction. Under extraction means the particles of coffee grinds that you're using to make your cup of coffee are coarse. So to fix this challenge, you need to adjust your coffee grinder on a fine grind size. This means you reduce on the amount of the numbers on the coffee grinder so that you can make the particles small. You can follow the brewing time for each of the brew method as your guide, so that when you're extracting your coffee, you time the extraction time. When you're having the ideal extraction, it should be together with the brewing time of your cup of coffee. And if your coffee is tasting bitter, muddy and dry, chances are you're having an over-extracted cup of coffee. This means the particles that you're using to brew your cup of coffee are very fine. So to fix this challenge, you need to increase on the grind size, or you need to grind your coffee coarser. So by increasing the number on your coffee dial, this means you're increasing the particles of your coffee. And this is what is going to help you fix this challenge. You need to slowly adjust the grind size until you can find your ideal extraction of your coffee. This is what is going to help you have that perfect cup of coffee with balanced flavors like a professional barista. When you achieve your ideal extraction, note down the perfect grind size that you have used and the brew time that you have taken to extract that cup of coffee. This is a barista secret that enables professional baristas make the best and consistent cup of coffee each and every time, because they note down each of the changes that they make with their coffee, and this helps them come up with the perfect recipe for making the perfect cup of coffee using the different brew methods. By following these steps, you'll be able to make a good cup of coffee like a professional barista. With the knowledge that I've shared so far in this video, here's a simple question. If you're encountering a slow extraction of your coffee, what might be the cause? Let me give you a minute to think. I guess you've got it right. A slow extraction means you're having very fine grind size. So you're having very small particles which are creating more resistance in your extraction. So the next time when you're grinding your coffee, you at least know which is your ideal grind size. And this is how you can determine the grind size and how you can adjust the coffee grinder until you achieve the perfect cup of coffee. But one very important thing, not every coffee grinder is designed to grind coffee from espresso to cold brew. Some coffee grinders are designed to grind for only espresso, and some coffee grinders are designed to grind coffee for different brew methods. If you're home barista looking to elevate your coffee experience, or you're a barista working in a small coffee shop and you're seeking for a coffee grinder that can grind from espresso, V60, French press and Chemex, to check out this coffee grinder. This is the Giamoli GU38. I have made a video about this coffee grinder, the special features of it, and each and everything that you must know about this coffee grinder, which I would recommend for you to watch next in this video.